Have you ever been told that after 60, intimacy no longer matters? That certain habits should simply fade away with age? If so, you're not alone and you've been misled. The truth is, aging doesn't mean giving up on the very things that once brought you comfort, connection, or even joy. In fact, science is beginning to tell a very different story, one where nurturing your natural rhythms, including solo intimacy, plays a powerful role in protecting your health. As we grow older, we start paying closer attention to blood pressure, cholesterol, memory lapses, or joint pain. But there's one area often ignored, the link between sexual wellness and overall well-being. What if I told you that something as simple as maintaining a regular, private form of sexual expression could lower your risk for heart disease, support prostate health, reduce stress, improve sleep, and even lift your mood? You might raise an eyebrow, and that's okay. Our culture hasn't always been open about these topics, especially for seniors, but the science is catching up fast, and it's delivering a clear message. This isn't about indulgence, it's about maintenance. This isn't taboo, it's biology. In today's video, we're going to explore 6 powerful science-backed reasons why this private, natural habit may be one of the easiest ways to boost your health after 60. And it's something you can do discreetly, comfortably, and entirely on your own terms. So if you care about your heart, your mind, your sleep, and yes, your dignity, stick around. You might just discover that the key to staying younger, longer, isn't a prescription pill or a trendy superfood. It could be something you've had within you all along. Let's dive in. 1. Protecting your prostate. As men age, one area of the body becomes increasingly important, yet often goes ignored: the prostate. About the size of a walnut, this small gland plays a vital role in male reproductive health. But here's the catch. If it's not cared for, it can cause serious issues later in life, including inflammation, enlargement, and even cancer. Surprisingly, one of the simplest and most natural ways to protect your prostate is through regular ejaculation, including through solo activity. While it might sound surprising, the science behind it is compelling. You see, the prostate produces the fluid that carries sperm. Over time, if this fluid isn't released regularly, it can stagnate, leading to congestion and potential inflammation. Think of it like a garden hose. If it's never used, buildup and blockage start to occur. But when the flow is kept consistent, everything functions more smoothly. Multiple studies, including one from Harvard, have shown that men who ejaculate more frequently tend to have a lower risk of prostate cancer. Some estimates suggest up to 33% lower. Why? Because regular release helps flush out potentially harmful substances and keeps the gland from becoming overworked or inflamed. Consider the story of George, an 81-year-old retiree. He spent years waking up several times a night to use the bathroom. His doctor explained that benign prostatic hyperplasia, an age-related prostate enlargement, was likely the culprit. Rather than starting with medication, his doctor suggested trying a natural approach: regular sexual release. George gave it a try. Within weeks, he noticed fewer nighttime trips, less pressure, and more comfort. This isn't about youthful desire, it's about biological function. Keeping your prostate active helps prevent stagnation, supports better urinary flow, and lowers your risk of long-term complications. So if you've ever wondered whether this part of your health still matters, it absolutely does. And the best part? This simple habit is private, safe, and completely within your control. 2. Boosting heart health. Your heart isn't just a pump, it's the very engine of your life. And while we're often told to care for it through diet, walking, and medications, there's another surprising way to support heart health that few people over 60 ever talk about: regular sexual activity, including solo intimacy. Now, before you dismiss this as something just for the young, consider this. Every time you engage in sexual stimulation, your heart rate increases, your blood vessels expand, and your blood circulation improves. In many ways, it mimics the effects of light aerobic exercise. Research has shown that older adults who maintain an active sexual life often enjoy lower blood pressure, improved blood flow, and reduced risk of heart disease and stroke. That's because the body isn't just experiencing a temporary rush. It's activating key systems that keep the cardiovascular system healthy and resilient over time. Let's look at Henry, a 74-year-old grandfather who used to be an avid cyclist. As the years went by, his physical activity slowed, and so did his energy. He felt fatigued, noticed cold hands and feet, and his doctor flagged rising blood pressure. Instead of relying solely on medication, Henry's physician suggested something unexpected. Reintroduce regular self-stimulation as part of a holistic wellness routine. Skeptical but open-minded, Henry followed the advice. After a couple of months, his blood pressure readings improved, his energy rebounded, and his sleep quality got better. It didn't take much, just a few private moments each week, yet the impact was real and lasting. Why does this work? Sexual activity increases nitric oxide levels in the bloodstream, which helps dilate blood vessels and reduce arterial stiffness, a major contributor to heart attacks. It also helps reduce cortisol, the stress hormone that puts pressure on your heart. So while society often focuses on treadmills and salads, this is one wellness habit that's often overlooked but remarkably powerful. And the best part? You don't need a gym, a diet plan, or even a partner. Just yourself and a willingness to care for your heart in a way that's both natural and deeply human. 3. Improving bladder control and reducing prostate issues. Frequent bathroom trips. Weak urine flow. That uncomfortable pressure that seems to come out of nowhere. For many men over 60, these aren't just inconveniences, they're daily disruptions. But what if one of the most effective ways to improve bladder control and reduce prostate discomfort didn't involve pills or surgery, but simply staying sexually active, even on your own? It may sound surprising, but the pelvic floor, the group of muscles that support your bladder and prostate, plays a crucial role here. As we age, those muscles naturally weaken, leading to issues like urinary urgency, dribbling, or waking up multiple times each night to use the bathroom. However, regular sexual activity helps strengthen these muscles, much like how light exercise keeps your legs and back strong. Self-stimulation isn't just about release. It engages the pelvic floor, boosts blood circulation to the area, and encourages the prostate to function more efficiently. Think of it as a workout for an often forgotten part of your body. Take gym, for example. At 74, the retired firefighter found himself waking up 4 to 5 times a night. Exhausted and frustrated, he consulted his doctor, who explained that his bladder symptoms were likely tied to an aging prostate and weak pelvic support. The suggestion? Try regular self-pleasure, not as a luxury, but as a form of physical therapy. Jim was skeptical, but after a few weeks of commitment, he began to notice real change. Fewer nighttime trips, better stream control, and reduced discomfort. It wasn't a miracle, it was biology. Additionally, ejaculation helps flush out lingering fluids and bacteria from the urethra, reducing the chance of urinary tract infections and inflammation. It's a simple habit that acts like internal maintenance, keeping things running smoothly. So if you've been quietly struggling with bladder issues or mild prostate discomfort, don't ignore it or assume it's just part of getting older. Sometimes the answer isn't a bottle of pills. It's giving your body what it naturally needs to stay strong, supported, and in balance. 4. Boosting mental well-being and reducing depression. Aging brings many gifts: wisdom, perspective, and hard-earned peace. But for many seniors, it also brings unexpected emotional weight, loneliness, anxiety, and sometimes even depression. What's less talked about is that your brain chemistry doesn't stop needing care just because you've grown older. And surprisingly, solo intimacy can be a powerful tool for emotional healing. When you engage in self-pleasure, your brain releases a cocktail of feel-good chemicals: dopamine, endorphins, oxytocin, and serotonin. These are the same natural substances that help relieve pain, elevate mood, reduce anxiety, and bring about a sense of comfort and connection. In fact, neurologically speaking, the same brain centers light up during intimacy as they do during meaningful social connection, or physical exercise. Let's take Frank, a 72-year-old widower, for example. After losing his wife of 4 decades, he found himself stuck in a fog of sadness. Simple joys like walking in the park or calling friends didn't quite lift his spirits. At a routine checkup, his doctor gently suggested exploring ways to reconnect with his body, privately, with self-compassion. At first, Frank laughed it off, but as the weeks went by, he gave it a try. Slowly, he began to feel lighter. His mood improved. He smiled more. He even started sleeping through the night. This isn't just anecdotal. Studies have shown that regular sexual activity, even solo, lowers cortisol levels, the stress hormone, and increases serotonin, which is often low in people experiencing depression. This hormonal shift can lead to a calmer mind, better emotional balance, and a renewed sense of vitality. Just as a walk around the block can improve circulation, self-intimacy can boost mental clarity and self-esteem. It's not about lust or fantasy. It's about reminding your brain that pleasure, joy, and connection are still very much a part of your life. So if you're feeling down or disconnected, don't overlook this gentle, natural way to support your emotional health. Sometimes the path back to balance starts with rediscovering the relationship you have with yourself. 5. Lowering the risk of prostate problems. When it comes to men's health after 60, few concerns are as common or as quietly endured as prostate problems. Whether it's benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH, inflammation, or the looming threat of prostate cancer, this tiny gland can cause outsized issues when not properly maintained. But here's something many men don't realize. Regular sexual release may significantly lower your risk of these conditions. The prostate's main role is to produce fluid that supports sperm. However, if this fluid isn't released regularly, it can accumulate, stagnate, and cause inflammation, much like how standing water becomes a breeding ground for bacteria. Over time, this buildup can lead to discomfort, difficulty urinating, and increased vulnerability to disease. Studies, including several published in respected medical journals, have shown that men who ejaculate frequently, roughly 21 times per month, even solo, may reduce their risk of developing prostate cancer by up to 33%. This isn't theory, it's biology in action. Frequent release helps flush out toxins, clear old secretions, and reduce cellular stress within the gland. Let's consider John, a 68-year-old retiree who began experiencing classic symptoms: frequent nighttime urination, a weak stream, and pelvic discomfort. Initially, he assumed it was just the price of getting older, but after seeing a urologist, he learned his prostate was enlarged. Rather than turning immediately to surgery or medication, his doctor recommended lifestyle adjustments, including more consistent sexual activity. The result? Within months, John reported less pressure, fewer bathroom trips, and greater comfort overall. This practice isn't just about comfort, it's about preventive maintenance. Keeping your prostate active helps regulate internal pressure, reduces congestion, and supports healthier urinary and reproductive systems. It's like running your car engine every few days. It keeps everything lubricated and functioning smoothly. In short, you don't have to sit back and accept prostate problems as inevitable. Sometimes the best form of care isn't found in a bottle, it's in maintaining one of the body's most natural rhythms. 6. Enhancing sleep quality. If you're over 60 and struggling with sleep, you're not alone. Many older adults find themselves tossing and turning at night, unable to fall asleep, waking frequently, or rising in the morning still feeling exhausted. While some turn to medications or supplements, there's a natural, often overlooked solution. Regular sexual release, even solo, may be one of the most effective sleep aids your body already knows how to use. Here's why. During sexual climax, the body releases a cascade of calming hormones, oxytocin, prolactin, and serotonin, that promote relaxation, ease tension, and create a sense of deep contentment. At the same time, levels of cortisol, the stress hormone that keeps your mind racing at night, drop significantly. The result? A body and brain primed for restful sleep. Take Robert, a 78-year-old retired school teacher. Despite cutting out caffeine, sticking to a routine, and trying everything from herbal teas to meditation apps, he still found himself wide awake into the early morning hours. At the suggestion of a health newsletter he trusted, Robert tried incorporating gentle self-intimacy into his nighttime routine. To his surprise, within a few weeks, his sleep had improved. He fell asleep faster, woke less often, and even felt more refreshed in the morning. This connection between sexual activity and sleep isn't just anecdotal. Clinical studies have shown that individuals who maintain a healthy sex life, partnered or solo, often experience deeper, more restorative sleep. The rhythmic physical nature of the activity also mimics the benefits of light exercise, which is well known to promote better sleep cycles. Additionally, regular intimacy may help stabilize your circadian rhythm, your body's internal clock, which becomes less reliable with age. By helping your body signal when it's time to rest, this natural process can reduce nighttime restlessness and help you reclaim the deep sleep you deserve. So if you've tried everything else to improve your sleep, but still find yourself staring at the ceiling, consider this simple personal habit. No prescriptions, no special equipment, just you, your body, and the wisdom to use what nature already provides. Aging is a journey, not a sentence. And it certainly doesn't mean you have to give up the parts of yourself that bring health, balance, and even joy. As we've explored today, something as natural and personal as solo intimacy can offer powerful, science-backed benefits, from improving prostate and heart health to enhancing mood, bladder control, and even sleep. What's most surprising? These benefits aren't tied to youth, physical perfection, or social expectation. They're tied to understanding and honoring how your body works at any age. When you embrace this habit not as indulgence, but as maintenance, you shift the narrative from shame or embarrassment to self-care and vitality. Here's the key takeaway. Your body still works, still responds, and still needs attention. Not out of vanity, but because it's part of being fully alive. You don't need to rely solely on pills, appointments, or external fixes. Sometimes the best care starts with the simplest actions, private, personal, and fully within your control. So if you've ever hesitated to give yourself permission to care for this side of your well-being, consider this your encouragement. Aging doesn't mean fading, it means evolving. And when you treat your body with respect and compassion, it often gives back more than you expected. Thank you for joining us today. If this message resonated with you, consider sharing it with someone you care about. And remember, health isn't just measured by steps taken or numbers on a chart. Sometimes it begins with a quiet, meaningful choice to honor your body